Crossover, drive into traffic. Off the rim, no good. Forrest with a rebound, down with a rebound. He's going to take a look. He immediately finds Maxim. Maxim has the first 5 of the first 7 for West Rutland. Tracks that down and he finds Dow out at the top of the key. West Rutland up 7-0 with 5:06 left. Playing Rochester here in boys varsity action, Hinchy Gymnasium in West Rutland. Dow's going to drive. Kicks that over to Grabowski. Rochester privy to that, picks it off. Maxim, baby hook, no good. And it is Rochester going to inbound.
Here we go. Come on, talking white, let's go.
West Rutland starting out in man-to-man. And Maxim, clean block, swats that ball out of bounds. Rochester to inbound. They're on the far wing, near wing, corner, up fake, dribble, great defense, west side, nothing there. Top of the key, and West Rutland working hard, up fake. That ball up off the rim, no good. And Grabowski finds Dow, and Dow coming up in a hurry. Nice job of Rochester to get back. He finds Grabowski on the wing. Willie's going to take the jumper off the rim, no good, and here comes Rochester.
Hands up.
That ball near wing, back to the top of the key, up fake. Tough shot. Rattles off the rim and in, off the glass. Making the best of a bad situation there, and here comes West Side. That's a 7-2 lead for West Rutland. Dow hands off to Maxim, over to Grabowski. He thinks about it. Now he swings over to Bartlett. Couple fakes, and now back to Dow. Dow to Maxim. Maxim drops into Forrest. Forrest drop step, left hand off the glass and good. Bruce Forrest backs his man down, fakes to the middle, and then goes up soft with the left hand off the glass for 2. And good work on the defensive half, making things difficult for the Rochester squad. Maxim out to defend. And here comes Willie Grabowski out to the 3-point line. Anticipation, he elevates, gets both hands on that ball. It carries out of bounds, the Rochester maintaining possession, but nice anticipation, nice hustle, and the Rochester coach wants to talk things over. West Rutland out to a fast start, they're up 9-2. May have had some difficulty getting the first 3 or 4 minutes of this game in, but Maxim started it off with a jumper, has followed with a 3. Dow and Forrest ran a high pick and roll. Dow faked a pass out to the wing and then took it strong to the glass for a layup. And Forrest just backed his man down in, went soft off the glass. Nice to see him effective on the offensive half of the floor. West Rutland in early foul trouble against Polteny last game. Forrest was out of the game in under 2 minutes, having picked up 2, and it just continued snowballing from there. West Rutland had a lot of key pieces on the bench for most of the game, which resulted in quality minutes for a lot of the younger players. Willie Grabowski checks out. His brother Francis, senior, number 21, checks in. And Rochester goes backcourt to inbound this ball. Jake Bartlett up top. That's Maxim on the far wing. Grabowski denying all over the floor on number 5. Nice hustle. Francis, explosive quickness and great length. He can be a lockdown defender. That ball out to the top of the key, and Francis gets a hand on it. Stays in. And Forrest, great position, forces a tough dribble. Rochester maintains possession, but it's a little shaky. Maxim gets beat, but able to recover, and that's a step back jumper. If that goes, there's really no way to stop it. Nice work on the defensive half there for West Side. Results in a stop, and here comes Dow. Maxim to Francis Grabowski, over to Jake Bartlett. Bartlett to Francis, top of the key, wide open 3. And you can count that good as 12-2 West Side. And if you give Francis Grabowski space like that, he can fill it up all night. Bartlett, as soon as the Rochester player picks up his dribble, Bartlett puts on the pressure. Jake Dow picks up the garbage, goes end to end, lays it in easy off the glass for 2 more. And West Rutland turning defense into offense. Dribble drive into the paint, and look at the West Side players collapse on that. Double team, able to kick out, thinks about the 3. And now they're gonna slow things down a little bit. Dribble into the paint. And I believe they're gonna call Maxim for a foul there. Yeah, that's a reach on Brian. It'll be his first, and the first on West Rutland. Sub coming for Rochester, 23 checking in. That is Kyle Doyle, and 11 checking out. That's Michael Crickard coming to the bench. Rochester inbounds under their own hoop, and they go far wing into the corner. Pump fake. West Rutland doing a great job of staying on their feet, not falling for the pump fakes, in great defensive position.
Look to the other side.
Dribble into the paint, floater, rolls but won't go, and look at Brian Maxim, get up. And here comes Jake Bartlett. What's he see? He sees a streaking Roof Forest, and that is a beautiful transition basket right there. Nice to see the big man get rewarded for running the floor, and what a beautiful bounce pass. Jake Bartlett hit him right in stride, and Forrest puts it up and in at 16-2 West Side, and Schneider has the boys playing well tonight. Skip pass picked off by Francis Grabowski, and he's got Bartlett, but he elects to go strong. Floater off the glass, count it for 2 more, and Rochester coach going to call another timeout and see if he can find a solution. But West Rutland turning defense into offense. It is 18-2 with 41 seconds left in the first quarter. Timeout Rochester, their second of the quarter, and West Side is getting up and down the floor. We are thrilled to have Coach Schneider here running the program. We thank Donnie Dunches Jr. and Sr. for their years running the program here. They stepped down at the end of last year. Keith Schneider came over. He was an assistant for Greg Hughes at Otter Valley. Played for Coach Copo over at Castleton with Hughes before that. Also played on the football team, so he brings a toughness to the program. And he's got the boys wound up and playing well. Fantastic to see. He's assisted by Jordan Toller, who also played football over at Castleton, from my understanding. Jordan Toller running the JV program and assisting Keith on the varsity, and we are thrilled to have both those guys in. We've got subs for West Rutland. I'll check and see who it is in just a moment here. So the lone substitution, Roof Forrest to the bench, and 34, Drake Jankowski checks in, pulls down a rebound, and immediately gets fouled. First on Rochester, and first on 15.
Hey, White, get one here. Get one.
Kevin Kingsbury. West Rutland's going to play for 1 shot with 20 seconds left here. Dow, patient, walks it up.
Here we go, run it right.
Hands off to Drake Jankowski, bounce pass over to Bartlett. Bartlett fakes, and now comes top of the key for Dow. We're at 8 seconds. Francis Grabowski, time to look for a shot here. He finds Dow. Dow likes what he sees, so he puts up the 3. Off the rim, no good, and they're going to call Jake Bartlett for over the back right there. 1.4 seconds left, and West Rutland going to extend the defense here to make sure Rochester can't roll one in and get a good look at a long bomb. And that ball goes up and strikes the rail for the gym divider. So it is no good. End of the first quarter, it's 18-2 West Rutland, effective on both ends of the floor. We may have some subs coming in. We will check back as soon as coaches are done giving their instructions. West Rutland breaks the huddle after the first horn, and we do have some subs coming in. 34 Jankowski stays, 32 Maxim stays, 21 Francis Grabowski stays, 5 Jake Dow will continue to run the point, and 20 Brendan Harvey, a senior, going to get his first minutes of the game. We're heading into the second quarter, 18-2 West Side. We'll check the players for Rochester as we're able. Far wing, pump fake, top of the key, Grabowski defends, and Rochester trying to get a ball on the block there. Harvey was in position. That ball rockets through the Rochester player's hands and carries out. And here comes Rochester with full court pressure. Nothing new for Jake Dow to see full court pressure. That bounce pass picked off by Rochester. And Rochester player loses his footing, goes down, no call. Dow up to midcourt, and he finds wide open Drake Jankowski with a floater. Won't go, but West Rutland going to maintain possession on the offensive half. Rochester player steps on the baseline.
Hey, across.
Francis Grabowski will inbound.
See him.
Into Maxim. Maxim swings to Dow. Dow dribbles into the paint, kicks out to Harvey. Harvey up for three. You can count that. Brendan Harvey's on the score sheet for a three. And I guess the call was a two. Longest two you'll see all night. Rochester in the corner. And Harvey making stuff happen, tips that pass away. He's going to go strong, tries the reverse layup from a tough angle, won't drop. And Westside going to get back and play defense. Great anticipation, Brendan Harvey, to pick that pass off. Rochester dribbles into the lane off the front of the rim, no good. Maxim pulls it down and finds Dow. Dow, head up. Nothing there, so he'll slow it down and run the offense. Comes near side to Harvey, back to Dow, top of the key. Dow, left-handed dribble, hands off to Harvey, top of the key, finds Grabowski. Grabowski swings it to Drake Jankowski. Jankowski thinks about it and thinks about Francis at the top of the key. Now it's Francis on the near wing, bounce pass to Jankowski, down on the block. Kicks it back out for Francis. That ball is up, off the back of the rim, no good. And Brendan Harvey, great spot, offensive rebound, and he kicks it back out to Dow to reset. 6:12 left in the second quarter here, and West Rutland commanding lead. It is 20-2. Working the ball well. Grabowski tries to thread the needle into Harvey. Tight spot, and unable to finish there, but great look. Great cut for Harvey, everything but the layup. Maxim checks out, and Willie Grabowski checks back in.
One here now, boys.
Jake Bartlett going to check back in. Francis goes down hard, didn't see how it happened. He bounces back up. Rochester with a layup, and West Rutland not ready for the full court pressure that followed. Keith Schneider calls a timeout, and they'll talk about how to get through that pressure. So it's 20-4. Second quarter with 5:43 left. Teams in the huddle receiving instruction. We'll have Jake Bartlett checking in after they come out of this timeout. Rochester's got number 5, Daniel Labaja. 23, Nick Doyle. 10, Troy Walker. 15, Kevin Kingsbury. I believe it's 11. Michael Crickert will be the 5 on the floor for Rochester. West Rutland comes out. Dow's going to take a break. Drake Jankowski going to inbound, and Jake Bartlett will take over at the point while Dow catches his breath. So it's Jankowski into Bartlett. You've got Francis Grabowski, Willie Grabowski, and Brendan Harvey as your other 3 for Westside. Coach Schneider calls a high-low. Harvey swings to the far wing. Grabowski thinks about it. Comes across the top, bounce pass to Bartlett. Bartlett to Harvey. Willie Grabowski working hard to post up. Harvey hounded up the top of the key. He's got Bartlett. Bartlett tries to force the bounce pass in.
23. Willie, take it long.
And that foul is on Nick Doyle. First for him, second for Rochester. And it's Harvey looking for Willie Grabowski. Rochester picks it off and into traffic. Tough shot off the back of the rim, and he gets it to drop. Here comes Jake Bartlett. It's a 20-6 lead now.
Thumbs down.
4:59 left in the second quarter. Bartlett, dribble, drive, high floater off glass, no good. Loose ball, and Rochester comes away with it. Bounce pass, far wing. Jankowski out to defend that. Willie Grabowski a little late. 10 dribble drives, kicks out to the 3. Off the rim, no good. And Jake Bartlett's going to track that down, turn around and take a look.
Chin.
Rochester reaches but no call. This is Jankowski. Far wing finds Harvey. Harvey, near wing for Bartlett. Jankowski posting up but nothing there. And Francis Grabowski puts it on the deck and takes it all the way to the hoop. He's got an explosive first step and nice clean finish. 22-6 with 4 minutes left here in the half. Rochester in the dark blue and West Side in the home whites. We're at Hinchy Gymnasium here in West Rutland. Beautiful facility and nice crowd tonight.
Don't hold it.
Nice look down on the block. Pump fake won't go. Patient offense resulted in a great look for Rochester there. West Rutland fortunate they could not finish, and we may have some pressure coming here. A little bit of token pressure, and Bartlett easily breaks that, and he's to the top of the key.
Run it, yep.
Hands off to Harvey. Harvey to Grabowski. Grabowski swings to Jankowski. Nice cut, Harvey cutting through, but well defended by Rochester. That may be backcourt. Nope, apparently it was tipped, so Francis able to track it back. Bartlett holds at the top of the key.
Go, chin.
Hands off to Francis Grabowski. Grabowski to Jankowski. Hesitation, dribbles in, fouled him from behind. He'll shoot two, and we'll see who the call's on. Troy Walker picks up a foul. Third on Rochester, first on him. Drake's a good free throw shooter at the line with a 22-6 lead. And as I say that, he misses everything. Laughlin checking in for his first minutes. Harvey to the bench for a break. And Jankowski to shoot his second. And that is pure. More subs coming. Jankowski out. And Willie Grabowski in. Jake Dow checking in as well. 3 minutes left in the half here. It's been all West Rutland. It's 23-6. Nice job to contest that pass. Cutter, nothing there. West Rutland playing great defense, moving their feet. Laughlin was in position, gets bumped, gives up a little space, and Rochester player able to hit a tough shot. Dow finds Francis Grabowski for a long pass. Francis tees it up off the rim, no good. And ball out of bounds. Here comes Rochester. 2:34 left, second half. Grabowski almost picks that off. Dow sets his feet, goes straight up, makes for a tough shot for Rochester. They're unable to finish, but they'll maintain possession here. Little inbound under the offensive hoop. Maxim going to check back in. And Francis Grabowski checking out. Willie Grabowski showing the ups right there. Anticipates, elevates, and taps that ball back where it came from. Rochester will inbound again. Bounce pass into heavy traffic. And Rochester player goes up strong and gets rewarded. Kyle Laughlin picks up the foul there. He'll shoot two. First on Kyle, third on West Side. 2:22 left. Pure. 23-9. And no hesitation, no windup for Rochester. Gets the ball in his hands and puts it up. I thought that was good, but it rattles out. West Rutland able to haul it down and hand off to Dow. Dow starting on the far side. This may be a high pick and roll. Maxim sets the pick. Dow dribbles into traffic. Maxim rolls and tied up. So that's actually a foul on Rochester. Kingsbury picks up his second. Bartlett looking for Rue Forrest there. Rochester able to direct it back out of bounds.
Go get it, Jake.
Forrest backs his man down, goes up strong with the left hand, rejected by Rochester, and now they swing it out to Dow, top of the key. Dow waits for Rochester to extend the defense, then hands off to Maxim. Maxim to Willie Grabowski, far side to Jake Bartlett. Bartlett, top of the key to Dow. Dow finds Willie Grabowski. Great cut, Bartlett. He's going to go reverse layup, and Rochester there. 1:41 left, so patient offense winds the clock down, but does not result in points for Westside. That trip is 23-9 with 1:34, and Jordan Johnson about to get his first minutes. Up fake, dribble drive, kick out from the corner. That's off the front of the rim, no good, and Maxim secures that rebound after it's batted around, and Dow's off to the races. He's to the top of the key, he slows it down, and he finds Willie Grabowski. Grabowski hesitates, finds Jake Bartlett for three. That's off the rim, no good. And Willie Grabowski keeps that play alive. Great work. Oh, Jake Bartlett dribble drive.
Good idea.
And I'm unsure what the call is there. Jake Bartlett got to come have a seat. And you've got 14, Jordan Johnson checking in for his first minutes. We're at a minute in the quarter. Coach Schneider asking his boys for a stop here. Pump fake, up off the glass, no good. Players down, and Dow comes out of the pack, and he's off to the races. Bounce pass for Grabowski. Grabowski likes it, puts up the three, no good. And Jordan Johnson elevates, but not in good position there. He picks up the foul, not for lack of effort, for lack of position. Ended up going over the back there. His first, fourth on Westside. Non-issue at this point with 38 seconds left, and Rochester up the floor. Great look down on the block. Forrest recovers, gets back down. A lot of physicality there, but no foul. Jordan Johnson pulls it down. We're at 21 seconds. He gets off to Dow. Dow. Grabowski looking for Forrest on the block. Rochester picks that off, slaps it out of bounds. 16.4 left before halftime here in Westside, and Willie Grabowski calls the break, and he has Jordan Johnson, but he continues to hold. Almost a 5-second call, goes way backcourt for Dow. We're at 15 seconds now, and Schneider calls for one shot. 10 seconds. Dow drives into traffic, athletic move, gets it to drop. That is hard to defend right there. All you can do is make it difficult. That long bomb off the top of the backboard, no good. Great drive to end the half for Dow. It's 25-9, and we are headed into halftime. So teams are out of locker rooms receiving last-minute instructions here from their coaches, getting ready for the third quarter. Got a moment to express my thanks to PEGTV for allowing me to use this beautiful equipment and put these games on TV. Peg Harvey was telling me how many folks she hears mention how happy they are to be able to watch these games on Peg. It's a great service. I know folks who are either out of town or working late tonight will appreciate the chance to watch it. I know the kids enjoy being on TV. So thanks so much to PEGTV. And I encourage you, if there's something that's important in your life, put it on PEGTV. They are extremely helpful. They'll train you how to use the equipment. It is not as hard as you think it is. They'll train you how to use the software to edit it, make a nice product, and then they'll put it on TV for you. So if there's something important in your life, put it on PEG. They are awesome to work with, and I truly appreciate everything they do to help me put these games on. Here comes Westside. Willie Grabowski to Dow. Dow hands off to Grabowski. Maxim hands off to Bartlett. Bartlett fakes. Rochester comes out with a little intensity here in the half. Maxim comes to the top of the key. Bartlett swings to Willie Grabowski. Great cut. Maxim immediately doubled, spins into the lane. Tough shot. And Ruth Forrest there to pick up the garbage and put it in. And Westside coming out with a full court press here. And now they're going to back off.
Pocket. He's up. Get through it. Come on, get through it.
12 thinks about it twice. Now he puts it on the deck. Dow reaches out, gets a hand on it, disrupts his dribble. Maxim comes down with it. Now he finds Dow. Dow takes a look up the court. Nothing there, so he up fake, and now it's a pass to Forrest. Forrest back to Dow. Dow dribble, drive. Kicks it out to Bartlett. Wide open three. Count that. Dow penetration, and then skip pass. All the way under the hoop out to Bartlett, and Bartlett buries the three. West Rutland coming out with some intensity here, and Rochester drags that back foot, gets called for the travel. It's 30-19 with 6:41 left. Dow, top of the key, hands off to Maxim to Grabowski. Grabowski to Bartlett. Bartlett up fakes, and now thinks about the bounce pass into the post to Forrest, but instead it's swung across the top. Grabowski dribbles to the top of the key. Maxim to Dow. Dow fakes the pass into Grabowski and dribbles back to the top of the key. Patient offense for West Rutland. Maxim thinks about the three. Dow cuts through. Bounce pass to Forrest. Kick out to Dow. Dow. Bounce pass. Pass into Forrest, and Forrest just showed you some man right there. Backs his man down and goes up soft off the glass, and good. That is great work on the offensive half. There were rumors that Forrest was not going to play basketball this winter, and I'll tell you what, coaches, teammates, and fans are happy he's playing. He can be a difference maker on both ends of the floor, but nice soft touch, left-handed shot off the glass, and good. It's 32-9 West Side. And token pressure from Rochester. Dow gonna run a pick and roll. Forrest gonna get called for an illegal screen. Dow had a lane all the way to the hoop, but Forrest with an illegal screen. That is number one on him, and first of the half. Rochester will inbound here. Drake Jankowski will check in at the next opportunity, and here comes Rochester, top of the key. Bartlett anticipated that pass. Jab step, 12, kicks out. 10's gonna take the three. It is up on a great line, but short. Air ball ends up out of bounds. It is West Rutland ball. It's 32-9. In 34, Drake Jankowski. Out 35, Willie Grabowski. You know you're in West Rutland when you're trading Jankowskis for Grabowskis. Dow. Hands off to Francis Grabowski. Bartlett. Fakes, and then top of the key. Dow to the wing. Drake Jankowski, dribble, drive, nice take. Won't go. And Rochester rebounds. Roof Forrest checked out on that as well. That's where Francis Grabowski checked in. So nice minutes for him, and he's going to take a break, get a drink, catch his breath. Kick out to the three-point line. It is up. It is good. Count it. 32-11. 4:30 left in the third quarter. Dow hands off to Francis. Francis finds Drake Jankowski. Jake Bartlett. Ball fake, and now he's to Dow, top of the key. Drake Jankowski thinks about it and poked away and out of bounds. We'll see who ends up with this. It is West Side ball. Harvey checking in. Bartlett checking out. 4:11 left in the third quarter here in West Rutland. Close to a 5-second count here. And forces it in off Rochester hands, and Maxim tracks it down and finds Dow at the top of the key. Nice hustle, Brian Maxim. Harvey on the wing, dribbles to the top of the key, bounce pass to Dow. Dow to Francis Grabowski. Francis finds Drake Jankowski. He thinks about it, now he swings to Dow. Francis cuts through. Nothing there. Dow happy to continue running offense. Great look for Brendan Harvey cutting in. That ball off hands and out. Subs coming. Keaton Wright Chapman going to get his first minutes. JV player swinging both ways, varsity and JV, and he'll check in shortly. West Rutland with a commanding lead. It is 32-11 with 3.5 minutes. That three is up and it's good. Nope, called a 2. Second time I've done that tonight. 32-13 and Dow walks it up. Thinks about the pass to Harvey. Dribbles into the corner and now out to Harvey. To Grabowski, to Jankowski. Harvey open on the block, no pass. Swings it out to Dow. Dow thinks about the dribble drive. Nice job, Rochester, to shut the door on that. Francis Grabowski. Entry pass to Maxim. Maxim elevates a nice soft touch off the glass. His first points of the half. That is beautiful work right there. Nice finish, Brian Maxim. Great job of the offense to get it to him in a great spot. And we've got more subs coming at the next opportunity. Looks like Ruth Forrest will check back in.
32 white.
Brian Maxim picks up a foul on the hold. And we'll see who's checking out. Brian Maxim out. 5, Jacob Dow out. Keaton Wright Chapman 10 in. Ruth Forrest 23 in. Maybe Keaton Wright Chapman running the point here. West Side up 34-13 with 2:31. Rochester inbounds.
Good. Good. Active hand. Come on,
Top of the key.
Active hand on the catch.
Into the corner, back to the near wing. Dribble drive, kick out, far wing. Into the paint. Contact. Floater up off the glass. Won't drop. Ball tied up. It will remain with Rochester. Possession arrow. So we're at 2:15 left in the third quarter. Rochester to the corner. Immediate jumper short. Great position for Rochester. Immediately up with that. And now Keaton Wright Chapman. Good anticipation. Goes up. Tips that pass. Foul on Rochester as a result. Kingsbury picks up number 3. And that's 2 on Rochester for the half. And Keaton Wright Chapman is indeed going to run the point. It's Grabowski to Jankowski. He swings far side. Oh, great bounce pass. Francis Grabowski finds Ruth Forrest as he cuts towards the hoop. Threads the needle and Forrest goes up strong with the left hand. Nice to see him effective on the offensive half. And great pass, Francis Grabowski. Wide open. Thinks about the 3 now, passes off, top of the key.
Shooter.
Off the rim, rattles, no good. Keaton Wright Chapman comes down with it. Jordan Johnson going to check in for West Side, as is Ben Harvey for Rochester. And Jeffrey Lakatis also checking in for Rochester at the next opportunity. West Side patient. Francis Grabowski hands off to Keaton Wright Chapman. Over to Harvey. Immediately contested. Great job, Harvey, to shake his man. Puts up the jumper, no good. And he'll pick up a foul for a reach from behind. Nice penetration, Harvey, to get that shot off. He's going to come get a little instruction from the coach. Ruth Forrest checking out. Jordan Johnson checking in for West Side. Johnson, number 14. Small lineup on the floor for West Rutland right now.
Move your feet.
Dribble drive high off the glass. Good for 2. Keaton Wright Chapman up to midcourt. Hands off to Harvey. Harvey to Francis Grabowski. Grabowski to Jankowski. Back to Francis. He's open enough to take that off the front of the rim. No good. And Drake Jankowski pulls down the rebound. Swings to Harvey. Harvey out to Francis. Francis, top of the key. He'll start the offense all over.
Here we go.
Oh, Francis Grabowski. I apologize, I zoomed in too tight on that. I assumed that he was going to take his man one-on-one. And it's unfortunate that I was unable to get that in the frame because Francis into traffic gets the shot to go off glass. It was a beauty. It's 38-15. West Side into the huddle. More subs are coming. Coach Snyder going to get some people some minutes here. They're up 38-15 heading into the final quarter. And I'm going to step away while they get last-minute instructions. Teams coming out of their huddles as we head into the final quarter here in West Rutland. It is Westside 38, Rochester 15. Westside off to a 2-0 start with wins over Long Trail, which was a great contest, and Pulteney, which was a little more lopsided. Both those games available to see on PEG. And if you have a chance to watch the Long Trail game, impressive adjustments at the half by Coach Snyder and the players to shut down number 20, Sheldon, for Long Trail. He absolutely lit Westside up in the first half. Westside went to a very active 2-3 zone and able to slow him down, contain him, and pull away at the end for a nice win. So Westside patient here. Keaton Wright Chapman backs it all the way out near midcourt. Jankowski comes out, sets the pick. Keaton Wright Chapman dribbles, drives, finds Harvey. Harvey. Skip pass over to the corner. Jankowski, nice job to elevate and pull that down. Another high pass for Keaton Wright Chapman. Coach Snyder asking his players to calm down a little bit. It's a very young lineup on the floor right now. You got Harvey with the ball right now. He's number 20. He swings to Keaton Wright Chapman, who's a sophomore playing up from JV. Harvey kicks out to Jordan Johnson. Johnson, a little long, and it comes down for Rochester, and Westside back on defense. Got Kyle Laughlin, 22, up from the JV team as well on the floor. He's in the middle there. And Jordan Johnson, 14, senior out there on the floor. And ball tied up, jump ball, it'll be Rochester. We're at 6:37 left. Rochester tries to find the cutter. Two West Rutland players able to get hands on that. Jordan Johnson back to Keaton Wright Chapman. And how about generous basketball? Johnson to Keaton Wright Chapman. Back to Johnson for the two. Unselfish, nice to see.
Good talk, Jordan. Good talk.
West Rutland's got a lot of stuff going right tonight. That pass up high, and Johnson immediately out to pressure. Top of the key. Dribble drive into the paint, and now looking for the kick out. And that's Jordan Johnson again. And Keaton Wright Chapman getting down on the floor. It's contagious.
Good effort.
We've got a foul called on Troy Walker of Rochester out of that scrum. Johnson out to Keaton Wright Chapman. Coach Snyder calling him near side. Hands off to Laughlin. Laughlin to Jankowski. Jankowski to Harvey. Harvey looks for the cutter, not there. He comes back out to Keaton Wright Chapman. Now it's Jankowski on the wing. Out to Keaton Wright Chapman. How about that? There's your JV point guard stepping up and draining a three here in the fourth quarter.
Hands up, active hands. Get there on the 10.
Very active 2-3 zone for Westside as they try and drop back and slow this game down a little bit.
Timeout.
Westside ball, and Coach Snyder's going to take a timeout to talk things over. We'll come back as the teams come out of their huddles. Teams are breaking their huddles, coming back out. 5:23 left in the fourth quarter. It's the same five for Westside. Drake Jankowski, 34, is heading back to inbound to Keaton Wright Chapman. You've got Kyle Laughlin, 22, Brendan Harvey, 20, and Jordan Johnson, 14, are your five for Westside. Keaton Wright Chapman jogs it up to midcourt. Bounce pass to Johnson. Oh, baby. That is exactly what Coach Snyder drew up in the timeout. You want to talk about running a play. That has got to be fun for a coach right there. That is absolutely beautiful.
Way to step in.
Jankowski picks up the foul there, his first. First shot up, no good. Coach Snyder asking his players to box on this second shot. Off the rim, no good, and Kyle Laughlin. Great position, hauls it down, and he finds Keaton Wright Chapman. Laughlin to Jankowski. Jankowski thinks about it, swings to Harvey. Harvey takes the pass inside, bounce pass to Jankowski. He likes what he sees. He puts up the three off the back of the rim. No good. And Jordan Johnson in great position, elevates. Nice try for the rebound. Unable to corral it, goes out off his hands, and it is Rochester ball. We're at 4:39 left in the game here. And it's a runaway for Westside. It's 45-15.
Talk to each other. Way to slide, way to slide. Good set.
Rochester dribbles into the paint. Floater off the glass, off the back of the rim. No good. Keaton Wright Chapman pulls it down. And West Rutland happy to run more patient offense here. Hand off to Laughlin. Laughlin to Jankowski. Jankowski squares up, couple dribbles out to Keaton Wright Chapman. He calls for the cutter, now he backs it out, and they will reset the offense. Hands off to Jankowski. Jankowski to Harvey. Quickly over to Kyle Laughlin. Plenty of space. Off the rim, no good, and Rochester elects to let that go out. You can hear Coach Snyder every time the boys head back on defense calling one. He wants one shot, and then he wants possession of the rebound. No multiple shots on the defensive half is one of the things that he's been stressing since he got here, and Westside playing very well in the defensive half for him. Working hard both in the man-to-man and the 2-3.
Go right to you. Talking. Go, baby. Good. Run one.
Top of the key, and Laughlin's there. Now it's over to the far wing, Jankowski.
Good, Jordan.
Great cut and nice pass onto the block. Easy layup for Rochester. Patient offense, and that is a great look at the hoop right there. Well run for Rochester. Keaton Wright Chapman comes near side, hands off to Laughlin. Laughlin swings to Jankowski. Jankowski fakes to Harvey, now he goes to Harvey. Harvey on the far wing, off to Keaton Wright Chapman. Couple dribbles, and almost had a cutting. Jankowski thinks better of it. Now it's to Laughlin, back to Jankowski in the far corner. He's gonna dribble, drive, elevate. Get the tough shot to fall and earn a trip to the stripe. Nice work, Drake Jankowski.
Where's the help on that, Blue?
That's Michael Crickard picking up his first of the game. And that rattles home for Jankowski. Nice to see him finish the three-point play, and Rochester's going to walk it up to midcourt. Harvey extends the defense.
Come on, Drake.
Far wing. Jankowski slides. Spin, now they kick it further out. Thinks about the three, and Kyle Laughlin reaches up and rips that ball away, and he dribbles into a double team off a Rochester player. It remains West Rutland ball there. West Rutland going to inbound on the side. 2:46 left. Johnson sets a beautiful screen. Looks for the bounce pass. That's through traffic. Great hustle, Rochester. Courageous play, goes sliding into the bleachers. Able to save it. And now Rochester gets a little sloppy with the ball, and Laughlin pulls it down. He finds Jankowski. Jankowski thinks about it, and as he's thinking, he's walking. Gets called for the travel. 2:27 left, and it's 48-17 West Side. Rochester will inbound. They swing to the near wing. A little bit of a mishandle, and Jordan Johnson immediate pressure.
Base cuts.
Great move into the paint. Tough shot contested by West Rutland. It won't go, and West Side hauls down the rebound. It's Kyle Laughlin with another rebound. Keaton Wright Chapman walks it up to midcourt. Harvey swings to Drake Jankowski. He thinks about it. Harvey has it poked away, and he tracks it back down in the backcourt. He finds Keaton Wright Chapman. And West Rutland running more offense, killing more clock. Minute 33. Handoff to Jankowski. Dribble, drive. Has it stripped away, but it's off Rochester. Subs coming for Rochester. In comes Travis Needham, 14. In comes Jeffrey Lakatis 2, and Cody Robinson, I believe, 3. And that is a beautiful inbound pass to Laughlin on the block. Shot skies but won't drop. And here comes Rochester up to midcourt. They swing to the near wing. We're at 1:18 left, and it's a commanding lead for Westside. It is 48-17. Westside done a lot right tonight. Keaton Wright Chapman showing some defensive quickness there. He comes down with it. He's going to go strong. Thought he was going to get the finish, but he will shoot 2. Nice strong move to the hoop. And that foul's on Nick Doyle. 2 on Doyle. And Keaton Wright Chapman, JV point guard that swings up and down, getting some quality minutes and getting on the score sheet on the varsity side. That first one up off the front of the rim, no good. Second shot's pure. And here comes Rochester. We're down to a minute remaining in this contest, and it was a runaway early. Westside pressure on the defensive half, some full court pressure, forced some turnovers, patient offense. Keaton Wright Chapman elevates that, sends it back where it came from. Rochester recovers. They swing it to the top of the key. We're at 44 seconds. Rochester, top of the key, immediate pressure by Laughlin. West Rutland continues tenacious defense. Now they back down and double team the Rochester player on the baseline. That ball carries out, and we're at 30 seconds left here. Been a complete showing for West Rutland, and quality minutes for a lot of players, and some rest for some senior players who are going to need quality minutes later in the season. Here comes Keaton Wright Chapman, and he's going to slow it down. Get stripped from behind, and that was dangerous. Kyle Laughlin came charging into the middle of that. West Rutland fortunate to hang on to the ball, and they will not shoot. You're down to 6 seconds. Rochester won't come out and play them. So we're going to end up at 49-17 here. Keaton Wright Chapman going to hand off to the officials. We'll stay for the handshakes. Thanks to PEGTV for allowing me to produce this game and put it on TV. Great job, Westside. Coach Snyder has them hitting on all cylinders. We'll ask him if he's willing to send out a player of the game, and we'll have a post-game interview, hopefully. He's got to be pleased with the way things went tonight. We'll have another game this Wednesday. Not sure who Westside plays, but I hope to produce that and put it on PEGTV. I also hope to get some girls games on. We'll see if my schedule allows. So a complete showing for Westside tonight. 49-17. We'll check with the scorekeeper, see if we can get high score for each team, and perhaps have that be part of the post-game interview. All right, here we are with tonight's player of the game, Drake Jankowski. How'd you think it went tonight, Drake?
I think it went great.
Excellent. What'd you guys do well tonight?
Well, I think we really played to our whole potential as a team. It's a great team effort. We stayed patient on offense, and I don't know, we just waited for our looks on offense, and we capitalized.
Excellent. Played tenacious defense as well. Congratulations on player of the game. Nice job tonight.
Thank you.
Great job, Drake.